My experience is that most of the reconciliation and peace-building projects that go on around the world are not organized by governments, by governing authorities. My experience is that most of them come from non-governmental organizations, from people's organizations, from civil society. I think one of the issues is that in the history of some countries, governments have controlled how people gather together, and various NGOs have to respond to the government or have some sort of government approval. One of the things that's been true certainly in many Western countries, but also in a number of developing countries as well, is the health of people's organizations, grassroots groups, and that they determine their own agenda. And I think in a lot of conflict situations, the governing authorities will make official, say like ceasefires or peace treaties or armistices, those kind of agreements. But it's ordinary people's groups, apart from governments, that often take into their own hands the peace-building efforts and the reconciliation efforts. You can make a law in a peace treaty that this is the boundary, or this is the relationship between our two countries, or this is how we will stop our fighting. But reconciliation is something that's deeper than that. It's something that involves people's hearts, and it involves social fabric, and kind of restoring that social fabric that's been torn apart. And so that is done by people, and governments tend not to do a very good job of it. And it tends to be led by people's organizations from the grassroots up. That's why I do my work. I work around the world teaching conflict transformation, how to turn a conflict from a negative, destructive experience into a positive, constructive experience. And what I do is work mostly with organizations on the ground, religious groups, but also other civil society groups, student groups, women's groups, human rights organizations, even business groups sometimes. And we work from the ground up to build this commitment to peace, a commitment to build bridges with people on the other side. And it's, to me, that is where the real change happens. It bubbles from the ground up, because if we're passive about it, if we wait for the political leadership to do it, we're going to wait a long, long time. The politicians generally, in the U.S., we say they're feeling the wind. You lick your finger, see which way there's the wind blowing. The politicians then run to get out in front of that. So what we want to be able to do is to